You know, like. Do you need a little glow up, Tucker? You need a little glow up? No-Knead everything bread. This is a very casual situation, this bread. And I think that's great for people because it means that with just a little bit of effort and honestly, like not a ton of attention to detail, you can make something really delicious. Not everything should be precious, right? This is a bread that you can make really in very little amount of time. And if you're new to bread making, this is a great type of dough to work with. This is kind of what I call like the set it and forget it bread, you know? You stir it together, you let it ferment overnight, and then on day 2, you just shape it, and then you put it into a cold oven after it's proofed. It's really like as no fuss as they get. Okay, we're using bread flour today. As you know, bread flour, great for strength, great for a bread that's gonna have a long rise, and this bread has a very long rise. All right, so I've got my flour in the bowl. I'm gonna add the other ingredients. One trick here is to add your ingredients on top of the flour in their own little location. So I've got my yeast. So in my mind, I'm saying, yes, the yeast is in there. Salt. Yes, the salt is in there. Got the salt. Oh, no-knead everything bagel topping situation. I give these a little stir because the poppy seeds will settle. If you don't have this, you can make your own blend, you know. Sesame seeds, poppy seeds, fennel, caraway, chili flakes, pepper, garlic powder, you name it. And now I'm gonna go with my water. Now let's talk about this water for a second. Because this dough is gonna rise for 8 to 12 hours or maybe even a little longer depending on what your day looks like, we're using cold water. If we used warm water, the rate of rise would be too great. It would move too quickly. So we're trying to slow it down. I'm using cool water. In this case, I'm using 65-degree water. If it's the height of summer and it's 90 degrees in your house, you may want to use 55-degree water just to slow it down some, right? So the idea here is that cool water slows the rate of rise, allows us to have this dough mature overnight without going wild. Okay, so the water goes in, and I'll go ahead and get the oil in also, a little bit of olive oil. And you wouldn't think just 2 tablespoons would make a difference, but I swear this bread is really good, and one of the reasons that it's so good is that you can taste that little bit of olive oil in there. And then just stir to combine. If you have a stand mixer, you could do this in the stand mixer, absolutely. Once I get it sort of started with whatever stirring implement you prefer, I switch over to a flexible scraper. This is a tool you see me use almost every time I make bread or pastry. I use flexible scrapers all the time. I'm just moving this dough, getting the wet parts in contact with the dry parts, just sort of pressing and folding just until I have it combined. It's shaggy, it has no strength, it's kind of a mess, it's sticky, and you know what? It's perfect. It's no-knead everything bread. That's all you have to do. It's done. It's that easy. You literally just stir it together, make sure that it's homogeneous, and now we're going to leave it for, like I said, 8 to 12, 8 to 14 hours, just overnight. But make sure you cover it. Okay, so this dough has risen overnight. I'm trying to think what time I mixed it. I might have mixed it around, I mixed it about 12 hours ago. You could do it in as few as 8. You could even go further than 12. That's one of the benefits, is that it's flexible. So in the evening prior, you mix the dough, it ferments overnight. This dough is ready to be shaped. So let's see what we got going on here. It looks sticky. It looks a little bit daunting to touch, and I think that it's one of the aspects that people do struggle with a little bit, but I'm going to show you how to do it in a way that doesn't leave you covered in dough and feeling like this recipe is a bust. Okay, so before I shape though, what I want to do is I want to prepare my covered baker. So we're going to bake this bread in a pot. Now, in order to make sure that, or help the loaf not stick to the pot, we're going to grease it a little bit. I've got a little bit of olive oil, and I'm just going to oil it, getting up the sides a little bit because this loaf is going to grow quite a bit in volume. But if you're like me and you want a little bit of extra insurance, you can use a round of parchment. You can take a piece of parchment, cut a circle that matches the bottom of the pot, and then just put the parchment in there. And that will help you when you go to remove the loaf. Okay, so let's shape this dough. It looks sticky, right? If I look at it, if I touch it, even if I just barely touch it, it sticks to my hand. That's daunting. I've shaped a lot of wet doughs, and looking at that, I'm like, this could be problematic, right? So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to start with a little bit of flour on top of the dough. And now, with my flexible scraper, I'm going to work my way around the bowl, just releasing it a little bit. And you'll notice that some of that flour that's on top is sort of making its way down the side as I release the dough. Set that aside, and a little bit of flour down on the work surface. And now I'm just going to turn the dough out onto that lightly floured surface. No problem, right? Okay, so now the dough has a sticky side and it has a side which is sort of lightly floured, right? So what I'm going to do is this side is going to become the bottom of the loaf. So I'm going to make my way around the form, pulling and pressing to seal to shape around. And then I can turn it over, and the loaf is basically done. It's basically done. I might just do this for a second, but it's not entirely necessary. We would have been good at the end of what I just did. Loaf is shaped. Now it just goes into the pot, seam side down, right? Seam side down. Okay, so the loaf proofs for 2 hours in the pot with the lid on. That's it, done. Not bad, right? No sticking, hands totally clean, no flour on me. Good to go. Happy nappy. Okay, so the loaf has had a couple of hours to rise, and we're ready to bake it. It's super, super easy. If you take the lid off and the surface isn't slightly tacky, which is what we want to make this everything seasoning adhere, you can grab a little bottle of just some water and spritz it. Just give it a little bit of a spritz, and that will help them adhere. Now, the No-Knead Everything bread needs a little bit extra topping, so I've got some more topping to go on top. If you don't have that, like I said before, you can make your own topping. We also have another one that I really like. It's called the Works. It's a bread topping, but it's a really nice blend of spices with some seeds and stuff too. I really like that one also. So the instruction here is for a tablespoon. Let's see how a tablespoon looks, and if we feel like it needs a little bit more, I might go back in with just a little bit more. One more thing on this, and that is that I'm going to make some cuts on the surface so that the loaf will expand evenly where I want it. You don't have to do this. A lot of times no-knead bread isn't scored or cut in this case. I think it can be kind of pretty, and so I'm going to go ahead and cut the surface. Now, this goes into the oven. The oven is cold, and that's one of the nice things about this recipe is that the bread's proofed, we prepared the topping, and then we just put it into the oven cold, and then it bakes. So let's get it in there. Should I say something?
Do you have something to say?
I don't know. Bread's almost ready. So it's been 50 minutes, 50 minutes, and let's take the lid off this thing. Kind of excited. It's like, I don't know, it's like a surprise. Hopefully it's not a surprise. Hopefully it's awesome or a good surprise. So it's been in there for 50 minutes. We're going to take the lid off, and then we're going to return it for another 5 to 10. But look at this thing. What? It's pretty cool, huh? You can see it's like it's not quite there. We need more color in here. So back in for another 5 to 10. Let's go. 5 minutes. I actually gave that a little bit more than 5. It was closer to like 8 or maybe even 10. Look at that. So even though it's fully baked, we want to get it out of the pot now. It continues to lose moisture, and it will get soggy if it's in there, so go ahead and dump it out. And look at that. Parchment did its job. No sticking. Very happy loaf. I mean, beautiful. Look at that thing, Tucker. You can smell the onions, the toasted sesame, and one of the beauties of this style of bread, this no-knead bread, is in addition to the fact that it's dang easy, time with bread is flavor. And so having a dough like this, which ferments overnight, you have a lot of flavor. I mean, I'm a guy who makes a lot of fancy bread. This is not fancy bread. It's just as good. It's light, it's super crisp. The toppings as they bake, they take on this like nutty depth, but then like you've got this crumb, which the dough fermented overnight, so you've got all of that fermentation flavor that's still in there. So I love a bread that's compelling to eat. This hits all of those buttons. No-knead everything bread. I mean, it's good. Tucker, go home and make this. Tell your friends. You tell your friends too. We're out here, we're baking, we're enjoying ourselves, we're making great breads. Hope you come along. I'm Martin, and this is ciao for now.